Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Problem Solver Politics. And today, I want to share some, well, you probably heard already, but I want to share some bad news. And that is that Nancy Pelosi has once again been reelected as the House Democratic leader. She's not formally the Speaker of the House yet, but she is definitely on track. Now, she's not only on track to become Speaker of the House, she's on track to become the oldest Speaker of the House of all time. The last time there was a Speaker of the House over 80. They literally died in office at 80 years old. Nancy Pelosi will be, I believe, a little shy of 81 when she is sworn in. So we'll go through some of the details. But again, hey, age is just a number. I'm not going to get too far into she's too old to have the job. Maybe she's the right fit. But I think also at 82, a lot of us have our opinions on Nancy Pelosi. But either way, I want to go through some other things. We'll go through the kind of quick facts today. So Nancy Pelosi was reelected Wednesday to serve as House Democrats leader, preserving her role as the key Democratic player in Congress and solidifying her power alongside a future Biden administration. Why it matters. Pelosi's reelection, which took place remotely via voice, set her up to be reelected as Speaker in January and follows a disappointing election for House Democrats who lost several seats, undercutting the party's major gains from the 2018 midterms. That's what I want to talk about. I've talked about this before. The presidency is obviously a big office, right? And that's a little bit not in flux, but we're still waiting for that to finally be finalized. Looks like Joe Biden won there. Very good for him, right? But there's also like ton of other elections that happen all down the ballot, the down ballot vote, so to speak. Those went horribly for Democrats, and I think that is really going to inform how Joe Biden's able to govern more than anything else, right, is who's in the government. And I want to go through this. They mentioned here that it was a bad midterm. How bad was it? Well, not bad midterm, bad general, but how bad was it? We'll see. And they mentioned that while it was never a question that she would resume her role as the most powerful woman in Washington, giving no serious challenger ran against her, many frustrated members of the caucus wanted a change in leadership. That's the very important thing. Because you ask yourself, I mean, like 82, again, Nancy Pelosi's been around for many years, I'm sure. That's just very old for any. We've literally unprecedented, never happened. The last time somebody this old was Speaker of the House, they died. This has never happened before. And you'll notice that there was no serious challenger. And I have to admit, I wasn't, pounding the pavement, but I was looking around like, is there any rumors for someone legitimately going to challenge Nancy? Like, there never was a media cycle like, oh, Nancy might lose to the speaker role to X. There was some hubbub. People are upset, right? Now it's like, should they be upset? Before we get into should they be upset, I want to take a trip down memory lane here a little bit. I want to pull up an article from way back in December 14th, 2019. We'll go a little bit. I know it's quite literally the before times, but anyway, this is, can I scroll up for you guys? There's an ad from the Washington Post. Says, Rep. Jeff Van Drew, anti-impeachment Democrat, expected to switch parties after Trump meeting. So officials said Saturday that Jeff Van Drew of New Jersey, a vocally anti-impeachment Democrat, will join the Republican Party in the coming days, delivering a political jolt to Democrats ahead of next week's expected vote to impeach the president. Again, this was from about a year ago. The decision, they said, it came after Van Drew joined President Trump for a lengthy meeting Friday, during which Trump urged him to join the GOP. Three Democrat officials familiar with Van Drew's discussion in a recent day said he decided to switch parties. Two said his staff was informed of his decision Saturday, yada yada. So they go through why did it. So Van Drew, who had won his seat previously in 2018, had been a critical voice opposing impeachment inside Democratic ranks, saying the process is too divisive and comes too close to the 2020 presidential election. We can go through, essentially, we can pull a story up if you want. This happened about a year ago. I'm not going to go all the way through it again. Van Drew was basically forced out of the party for being against impeachment, and he switched to being a Republican. Since then, there are several highly publicized rallies from Nancy Pelosi and Donald Trump in New Jersey. Anyway, how did that all turn out? So he became a Republican. Not all of us live in New Jersey. Not all of us, quite frankly, care about congressional representatives from New Jersey. So how did this gambit play out for Jeff Van Drew? A lot of Democrats at the time said, hey, the polls show he's going to lose his reelection. That's why he's doing it. He just knows Democrats will vote the primary and vote him out. So he's just becoming a Republican to save his own skin. How did that work out? Well, there is a website. Well, not a website, but there's a Cook Political Analysis. They do a nonpartisan kind of ratings of various House districts and Senate districts and kind of elections, right? They kind of chart this stuff. Well, going in, they came up with this final prediction, November 2nd, 2020, final House ratings, Democrats poised to expand majority by 10 to 15 seats. After impeachment and a Supreme Court fight that wasn't much of one, and amid a global pandemic and racial reckoning, many congressional candidates have struggled to control their own destiny. But the House battlefield has steadily moved towards Democrats all cycle, and much like 2008, Speaker Pelosi could expand her party's newly won majority by double digits. So keep in mind, the big brains over here, I'm sure these people all got very expensive degrees and offices. They all came up with 10 to 15 seats. I think it's like a nonpartisan. This isn't one of those, like, you know, they claim to be. But as far as I've looked into this before, this isn't like one of those necessarily like hack organizations that's like, Biden's going to win 47 states, right? Like it was kind of like they're looking at the numbers and they had some sober metrics. But anyway, they have posted their final reports. I want to expand them a bit so you guys can see them, because we're going to focus on one key thing of their House ratings for now. They had what they called toss-up districts, both for Democrats and Republicans. And I want to show you guys something. It's a little bit weird, but the red arrow, and you can see some blue arrows to the left here. The arrows denote who actually won the seat, what direction the seat went in. I'll move it a little bit closer to the center. I want to show you guys something. Every single called toss-up, it's Nancy Pelosi's Congress, every single called toss-up has gone Republican. Not one seat they had predicted to go Republican went Democrat. And what is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. As of right now, they had predicted to go Democrat, went Republican. Now, the actual numbers for this actually look really bad for Democrats. And I want to just, a little bit hard to see, I know, because it's small, but I want to draw your attention to one name here in New Jersey's 2nd Congressional District. Well, that would be Mr. Jeff Van Drew, who I guess saved his own skin. He got reelected as a Republican. By the way, got reelected as a Republican in a seat that had been Republican for about 20 years, finally flipped blue. Before he finishes his first term, he's ran out of the party. What ran him out of the party? Again, we're going to just the very tail end of the before times here. I want to remind you guys something. Do you remember when President Trump was indeed impeached this year? Do you remember when they had the impeachment trial and Nancy Pelosi took a very long time, very seriously, with the monogrammed pens that has her name on them, by the way, to sign the actual articles of impeachment. Here we go. You can see her very seriously in a very nice pink outfit, signing with all of the pens monogrammed with her own name on them. Wonder why you do that, right? She is the speaker, right? Just, hey, I'm the speaker. If the speaker was Dale Earnhardt, it'd say Dale Earnhardt, I'm sure. Well, anyway, how did this work out for Nancy Pelosi? I showed you guys the swing districts went bad. Republicans lost seats. They were predicted to win. What was that final tally? They were predicted to win 15. So how did it actually go? Well, Democrats now are in position to have the slimmest House majority since World War II. And how does that happen? Well, Democrats' election losses continue to pile up. Speaker Nancy Pelosi is preparing to lead what may be the slimmest House majority in nearly 2 decades, with little room to maneuver between its feuding progressive and moderate wings as she works to deliver President-elect Joseph R. Biden's agenda. Maybe the slimmest in 2 decades. That is on the good side. Because her party's disappointing showing in the elections has left her clinging to a majority by a thread. Democrats' failure to defeat a single Republican incumbent as they lost at least 8 of their own. So I wanted to do some math for you. Instead of plus 10 to 15, it was minus 8. So that was a theoretical loss of 22 seats. Not only did they gain nothing, they lost seats. And again, Jeff Van Drew was like a shadow loss. That happened earlier in the year. They lost him again. So what was a comfortable 232 to 197 advantage over Republicans into what is likely to be the Democrats' thinnest margin since World War II, with a handful of races still to be called. By the way, a lot of these still to be called races, a couple of them out in California, I've seen them, they're leaning red. A lot of the Orange County seats that went blue for the first time in a long time in 2018, right? Lost all of them in impeachment. And I guess maybe it wasn't impeachment. Maybe some people have said it was to fund the police. The point being, this happened under Nancy Pelosi's leadership, right? And I know the presidency is a big deal. People want to talk about that. Senate, it's a big deal. Georgia runoff race. People want to talk about that. But, like, the chain of command, so to speak, for things happening, it kind of goes House Representatives, Senate, President, right? So this is an important part of the government, you could say one of the branches. And Nancy Pelosi has bungled this unbelievably for Democrats. If they took a 15-seat plus lead here, what a different thing. Joe Biden can do whatever the hell he wants. Because something else you're going to notice is there is a lot of Democrats, people out there with D's next to their names, who aren't just going to vote for anything Nancy Pelosi says. Especially, here's the thing, and no offense to Nancy Pelosi, again, getting back to her age, she's 81, 82 years old, right? Or 80, about to be 81. She will be 82 when this is all said and done. She'll actually be almost 83 when this is all said and done. She's currently 80 years old, but her birthday, I think, is coming up. Anyway. She's not going to be here forever. How much is loyalty to a former star who really hasn't done much in years, who's gone now? How much is that loyalty worth? You think the vacuum's going to be filled by another Nancy Pelosi, Nancy Pelosi 2.0? Maybe. Maybe just voting Pelosi will pay off. Maybe she'll be here another 2-3 years from now. Maybe being loyal to her will help me out. Or maybe it won't. And maybe Joe Biden's going to find that not only is it tough getting things through that Senate, which is going to be, I love when Democrats let's flip the Senate blue. It's it would be a 50-50 tie, and they'd have the tiebreaker. That's not flipping it blue. You have to convince every Democrat to vote with you on everything, which, by the way, doesn't happen. It doesn't. It does sometimes, but not always. Not for everything. Not for things that people think will cost them their seat. Especially, look at the leadership here in the Democratic Party. They're not doing anything down ballot. They beat the orange meanie. Congratulations. He's gone. What about everything else? I want to show you guys one more graph, and then we'll wrap it up here. One more graph before we read my rant on Nancy Pelosi. All right, so I want to show you. This is the map of what the United States of America looks like as far as legislative control goes. Again, lower things, state houses, state assemblies, who actually is controlling these states. And you'll notice, what were some pretty crucial states that Biden had to win? Some pretty crucial ones. He was really going to need if he wanted to win this election. Was it Arizona? Was it Georgia? Was it Pennsylvania? Was it Michigan? Was it Wisconsin? Was it any of those states? Probably still controlled Republicans. Well, my point here is this, is that it's great to have the presidency. Trust me, having the presidency for your party does a lot. I mean, I guess trust me, but just obviously, it's a big deal. But the Democrats can't just keep accepting down-ballot losses everywhere like crazy. They can't accept not only losses, they can't accept to just minimize gains down-ballot everywhere like crazy. And you know how I think that starts? One way you could start to just keep accepting this forever, or not even start, just the way this continues, Nancy Pelosi back in the House leadership role. Why? What has she done? Her impeachment failed. Did anybody at the ballot box, any exit polls, did any poll show that Donald Trump being impeached motivated them to vote for Joe Biden? Any of them. It literally cost them one congressperson. Literally, just straight up. He actively during impeachment, just said, I'm done, bowed out, became Republican, and won re-election. I'm sorry. This is who is leading the House again. Projected, but I mean, something crazy would have to happen. Again, I'm not even going to get into the stimulus talks Nancy Pelosi had no problem holding up as well. It serves both McConnell and her politically, so they both did it. There's no, angel here. I remember when she did that. And the things Nancy Pelosi done in the years she's been here. But hey, we get 2 more years of Nancy Pelosi running the House. Maybe 2 more years, thankfully, will be completely wasted on some other weird thing that people don't even remember. Maybe she'll get the monogram, more pens. But either way, at least Joe Biden won presidency for Democrats. That's good for Democrats. But I'm not even imagining. Republicans are very enthused at this stuff. As soon as the dust settles from some of these people over whatever they're trying to do with these recounts or whatever, they're going to realize we're winning everywhere else. Democrats are weak everywhere else. And they are. Democrats are weak everywhere else right now. Hey, try to get Joe Manchin under control before you even think about a Senate majority lead. I mean, either way, please let me know what you guys think. Hey, if you guys disagree and you think Nancy Pelosi is just going to be awesome and, hey, 2 more years, baby, let me know in the comments. If you do agree, hey, all the better. Please feel free to like or dislike this video. Love to see them both. Either way, have a great day, guys. It's been Problem Solver Politics.